Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we're talking The King's Court, you guys, on Peacock. I've never watched Queen's Court, you guys. I've always been busy with some other stuff, but I just happened to catch up on the first couple episodes of The King's Court. Oh, okay, I'm gonna keep a buck with y'all. I'm here to see Tyson Bedford. I'm just not gonna lie to y'all. I was here for Tyson Bedford because he's reality TV gold. I remember him many moons ago. I think he was on a reality show on E, and it was like him and his baby mama or whatever else, and they were trying to figure out their relationship or lack thereof. I don't know, but I knew when it was announced Tyson Bedford was in the cast, I knew it was going to be nothing but tomfoolery and shenanigans. Why on the first episode, y'all, was there a white lady, Caucasian lady that lied and said that she had dated black men before, but it was all a lie. The lie detector test determined that was all a lie. No. So nonetheless, we're already getting off with the nonsense and the foolishness, but a couple of things I wanted to, why I wanted to tune into this show. And that's why I watched, and because he's easy on the eyes. But so that was that. I tuned in for that, and also on the cast is Carlos Boozer. So Carlos Boozer, he's a former NBA player, two-time All-Star, I believe, and two famous stories about Carlos Boozer. I don't remember which wife of his it was, but she negotiated, I believe it was his Utah Jazz contract, and he got like all this money. And the other Carlos Boozer story that I know of is the Prince story. So if y'all are not familiar with the Prince story, shortly after Carlos Boozer had signed with the Utah Jazz, he had bought a house in LA, this huge house. I think it had like 12 bedrooms and everything else. And so a lot of people were interested in this house since he was going to be playing, obviously, during the season in Utah. And one of the people that was interested, and he kept turning everybody down, but Prince was interested. And so what happened was, Prince offered, I think, to pay like $95,000 a month to rent Carlos Boozer's house for a year. So he was like, cool, I'll come back to LA, I'll sign the paperwork. So what happened was, a few months after Carlos Boozer had got injured, I think he tore his meniscus or something, and he wanted to go back to LA to do like rehab and all this and all of that. And so he went over to his house and punched in the code to the gate, and he went to his house. He was pulling up the driveway, and there was purple carpet. But he said Prince transformed the house into all purple and black decor, all pictures of him, his awards, like all this stuff. It was basically, I think he turned one of the rooms into a hair salon. He turned, I think, the weight room or something into like a DJ, like dance club type of vibes. And so Carlos Boozer was shook because he was like, it's not a part of the agreement. And he was talking with his team. He was like, do I sue Prince? And he was like, no, that's not okay. And ultimately, what ended up happening, he kept trying to call Prince. He couldn't get a hold of Prince. Prince was on tour. And at the time, this is when Prince was working on the 3121 album. And so eventually Prince said, don't worry about the house. Like, as soon as the lease is up, as soon as the 1-year lease is up, I'm going to transform it back into how it was. And so then the lease was up, and Prince restored everything back to the original house that Carlos Boozer had purchased. It was as if Prince was never there. And That's his Prince story. So he bought the house, I believe, for like $8 million, and he ended up selling it, for $12 million, for 12 or 13 million or something like that, because of Prince. No, but Prince helped with the inflation. But I just wanted to tell that story because this King's Court show, I don't know what really to make of it. So Tyson had this girl on there who also was a model, and I guess they had DM'd each other. Nothing came of it, but then she came on the show, and I guess she's not happy with him by the second episode because she's jealous, and I guess Tyson doesn't like people who are jealous, and the jealous type and everything else. Tyson basically is here for a good time, not a long time. I think the boxer referred to him as the Hugh Hefner of the show, and it's correct. He wants to date every new person because Holly Robinson Peete and her husband Rodney, basically you have to choose women to go out on dates with, and then by the end of the show you have to choose people that are going to be at this elimination dinner. And so far, we start off the show with 7 people, and they sent home 2 people, and then they brought in another group of people, and every time there's a new group of people, Tyson's like, okay, I just want to go on dates with everybody. Even though you previously told the other 2 women that you were, y'all were all locked in. And so they all lived in this house with each other, and it's just a mess. It's just a mess that I'm tuned in for. So Carlos Boozer, and he's pretty much into Janae. Like, I don't see a situation, even as far as the people that are coming in, I don't see a situation of Carlos Boozer turning his head at this point. He seems pretty locked in with her. She has a past. I believe she is, I want to say her father might be one of the members of Earth, Wind, and Fire, or some connection to Earth, Wind, and Fire. So she's been around, like, the music industry and the entertainment industry, so I don't think she's fazed about the fact that Carlos Boozer is a former NBA player and has made hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, one of the girls was being messy and talking about Carlos Boozer's past of him allegedly cheating on his ex-wife or whatever else. But Carlos is like, listen, look at here, like, I'm new, I found God, I've done all this, and you gotta, trust the change behavior. However, he did not like that the girl went messy behind his back, and he went to go confront her and basically was planning on eliminating her, but she decided to eliminate herself, I guess, to avoid, the whole production of it all. And then was calling out Carlos Boozer, calling him ghetto, and how he treated her was ghetto. I was like, no. Now, the boxer, I'm not really sure what's going on there. I can't get a read on him yet. If he's really here for, to meet somebody for real, or if he's here for fame like Tyson Bedford. But nonetheless, I'm thoroughly entertained. Now, there was a bombshell that came in who has a child who's autistic and everything else, and she said the father's not involved, and she had to move schools and all of this and all of that. He seems really intrigued with her because he has his own school for people who have special needs and everything else out in Tampa, Florida. So they might be a connection. However, it's very early. We're only 2 episodes in. I believe the next episode comes out tomorrow, and I believe there's like 10 episodes. For Tyson, why do I have a feeling this model might come back to the show? I don't know. There's something. I think her name is Brooke Howell. Why do I feel like she might come back to the show? Something is giving me that she's not fully done, and this might be like a long-term storyline. I don't know. But she likes to be chased. She doesn't like to, but I don't understand on a show like this, on a dating show like this, where there's multiple women, it's like you have to make your presence known. But at the same token, you're talking about Tyson Bedford, who does not have to fight for a woman's attention, does not have to fight for a woman to be interested in him, but he's bringing all the entertainment. He's giving us tears, he's giving us drama, he's giving us laughter, he's giving us player vibes, he's giving us everything but a commitment, you guys. Everything but a commitment. So I cannot believe that he is talking about at 53 years old he wasn't settled down. I don't believe him. I need to see receipts. But he does want more kids. He said kids are beautiful, everything else. One line that is resonating with people is, when Carlos Boozer was talking to Janae about, getting married again and everything else, because she was trying to ask, okay, you've been divorced twice already. Like, would you do this all again? And he was like, yeah. He was like, why should I, close off my chakras or something, he said. Close my chakras. I'm always going to be open to love. So, nonetheless, that's it in a nutshell of the show. They have these goofy challenges and different dates and things that the people have to do to try to get to know each other, but it's really just a competition of who can get, each other's attention first. But I'm just laughing at Tyson because he's just so bold with it. Like, there was one scene, there was two women he was talking to, but he catered more to the Mexican lady and was like, okay, I'm just going to ask you out on a date in front of the other girl. And I'm just like, so then she ends up getting up and leaving. And it's just like Tyson has no chill. He has no chill at all, you guys. And that's what's so crazy. Also, the women, I think, are feel a little bit of a ways, basically saying, hey, like, there's no point in getting to know Carlos Boozer. He's already chose Janae and everything else. But I feel like the women really aren't putting forth the effort at the same token when they had opportunities to talk to Carlos. There really wasn't much that they were giving. I feel like Janae and Carlos, like, there's been a depth to them, so it's been easy for them to connect. And I feel like these other people are just feeling a certain type of way. The boxer, like I said, I can't read. There was a black woman who got on there because he had made a comment that she was aggressive, and so then she backed off. And so then she pulled him aside and was like, listen, I work in a field where this is the typical, black women are aggressive, black women are angry, black women, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like I'd appreciate it if you kind of just use something else. And so the boxer had apologized for that and felt as though, he wasn't trying to disrespect her or try to build up that stereotype and everything else. He was talking about in the context of the dating show and not who she is as a black woman. So they had that conversation. Also, the existing women, the original 7 OG women, they do not like the new people who have come in at all and are being mean to them, calling them they're no competition, they're not this, they're not that. And I understand you feel like this is your territory, but it's only been a few days, right? It's only been a few days on the show. Like, these shows, they're always going to try to bring in new people to see if that is going to tempt the king, the king in this situation. The concept of the show is just funny to me. But I guess at the end of all of this, you choose somebody to call your queen. The king get to choose somebody to call your queen. But I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I really only feel like Carlos Boozer and Janae is taking this seriously. I feel like Tyson, this is just to run up his his Rolodex for women that he is gonna continue to hook up with after the show. I hope this show has a reunion because I would find it interesting to see if any of these people are still together for real or not. But Tyson, I'm tuned in for Tyson. I'm tuned in for Tyson because I knew Tyson was going to give me mess, and that's what I signed up for. So there's that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post a content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.